I used to be a dumbass, who thought Jojo was gay and stupid, but now, after watching 6 parts of Jojo and reading the 7th part, I can say that Jojo is gay and stupid, but it is cool. So, how can a man's mind change so much? This video will cover the first part of Jojo. Yeah, I know it's the worst, but I don't care. I want to tell the full Jojo story. And yeah, I liked it. I'm reading part 7 now, which is just a masterpiece. Yes, I love a story about a wheelchair-bound cowboy. It made me 32.64% more gay? Yes! And now I do random poses in the street. You don't know how addicted I am to that shit. I was watching One Piece, I'm on episode 360 by the way, but then I thought, what if I watch Jojo? And now I can't stop. So, part 1, Phantom Blood, take place in Britain. In 1800s, the main character is Jonathan Joestar. So, Jojo. And he is a good boy. He helps everyone, the personification of good in a being. Gojo Satoru. He has a dog. Used to. And yeah, he is probably gay. I mean, he is like, let me see. That's good thing to do, so I do good thing. Oga boga. And there is Dio. How to describe Dio? Well, imagine the devil. Multiply by 100. That's 10% of Dio. Dio is like the worst being to ever stepped on this person, but for some reason, we love him. For some reason, he is way better than Jonathan. He is him, and he docent like have a really hard past. He has, but nothing that justifies why he is like that. So Dio comes from a very poor family. Someday, his dad, which is an old man, and is dying, says to him that the Joestar family have a favor with him, and that after he died, he could live with them. What he didn't know is that his son is poisoning him. Yeah, that's Dio. And after the old man died, Dio went live with Jonathan and got adopted by Jonathan's dad, which is the most fucking dumb character ever. We'll talk about him later. So, Dio arrives on the Joestar mansion, where Jonathan lives. And Jonathan went there to greet Dio. Ah, you're Dio. You're my new brother. Look at my dog. He is called Danny. Dio just kicked Danny. Like and subscribe. And after that, my friends, the life of Jonathan Joestar would be hard. Really hard. And the first episode is basically Dio destroying Jonathan's life in every way possible. He destroys his relationship with his father. He destroys his relationship with the boys. He beats up Jojo in front of the boys. But Jojo didn't care. But then Dio kisses Jojo's girlfriends. When Jojo knew that, he had enough. He went to his Dio and beats up Dio in one of the most satisfactory scenes on the show. And Dio just like breaks. He just didn't believe in what happened. But then, Jojo's dad appeared and tell them to stop. So what Dio does, he killed Jojo's dog. Yeah, just that. By the way, if you like dogs and want to watch Jojo, be careful, okay? Be careful. And then there is a time skip and, oh my lord, look at that. This guys are 18 or 19, look at the size of it. That can't be human, jeez. And it seems they are friends. They are playing rugby, not football. And they win the watch. And Dio has the idea to tell their dad that they won it. Their dad. And their dad is dying. Which, coincidentally, he has the same symptoms as Dio's father. Ha, like if Dio was poisoning their dad, so he could inherit the inheritance. Dio. What's that? Jojo catches Dio swapping the medicines, and asks to check the medicine. But Dio said no, saying that, if you check the medicine, that means you're doubting our friendship. And Jojo thinks that makes sense? But he says to Dio swear on his dad lives, and Dio punches him on the face. But, as a really Sigma, Jojo resisted to Dio punch, and confirmed his suspicions. So, after telling his dad to only accept medicines from the butlers, he went to London to find the origin of the medicine. Meanwhile Dio was investigating a mask, that when blood touches it, some spikes appear. And he has the plan to kill Jojo with the mask, saying it was an accident, so he went to London too. Some guys try to kill Jojo, but they fail. Obviously, Jojo is a Sigma after all. But one of them noticed that Jojo was not using his full power, so he tells everyone to leave and leave him alone. This man, my friends, is Robert E.O. Speedwagon, the greatest waifu of all time. But if Jojo is dealing with some drunk dudes, Dio is drunk and killing a bunch of people. The man can ran from his past, but the past can't run from you. That's probably wrong. Dio decides to try the mask with one of them. and he simply transforms into a motherfucking vampire. A fucking vampire. And he evaporated. If you don't know, vampires evaporate in sunlight, which doesn't make any sense. Because the moon shines, because it reflects sunlight, so they should die in the night too. Infinite IQ moments. After that, Dio went back to the joestar mansion, but when he arrived, there was Jojo and the police. And he said, "Dio, the jig is up. You want to poison my dad? That's gay." And he does a speech about that. They are brothers. But Jojo don't know how to keep his mouth shut and told the police. Dio starts pretending to cry and saying, "Sorry, it was not my intention. I will never do it again. Forgive me." That's exactly what the killer would say. And after that, God, aka Robert E.O. Speedwagon, says that Dio is evil in nature, and then Dio tries to kill Jojo with a knife, but his dad sacrifices and dies. But then, Dio uses the mask, the police shoots him and he dies. End of the anime. So while they were talking, Dio's body disappeared, and he comes back as a vampire, and saying, and then Jojo and Dio fight, the house burns down, Dio dies, and Jojo survived. End of the anime. The rest of the anime sucks. Honestly, I hate it. It's so generic and basic. So I'm just gonna speedrun the rest of the anime, because that part is boring as fuck. After killing Dio, Jojo is almost dead too. So Irina, the girl who Dio kissed, take care of him. So much that she dies. After getting well, this man, Will A. Zeppeli, appears and kills him. End of the anime. Okay, this isn't funny anymore. The man teaches Jojo the Haman, which is basically the power of Jojo's first and second part. It's like energy from the sun, I don't care. It's so generic, jeez. It's like, I need to create a power system. Why I don't make the most generic thing ever. It sucks. Then he finds out that Dio isn't actually dead. Remember this phrase. Dio makes an army. Jojo kills a bunch of Dio's henchmen. Will Zeppeli dies, then this guys appear. They were friends of Zeppeli or something. They all decide to invade Dio's castle. They fight. Jojo uses some swords, and he kills Dio. Then everyone thinks that is over, that Dio was finally defeated. Jojo and Irina get married, and they went on a ship, and they are happy, celebrating and etc. But you know who else in on the boat? Dio Brando. He didn't die, because this stupid-ass Chinese saved Dio, and kept the head. Dio now is saying that he now respects Jojo, and he wants to steal Jojo's body, and stay hidden in a coffin. They fight, and Jojo dies, hugging Dio's head. The boat explode. Irina grabbed a random baby and ran away. Actually, she was saying like, "No, Jojo, I want to die with you. Don't do that, okay?" It was basically that. And then, the anime is finally over. Dio was defeated, right? Right,